Hello YouTube. The time of recording this video, it's almost 12 o'clock, and I just finished recording a Cyrax video. About to go to sleep, have a nice little rest, but then I see more Nova leaks have come out. Now I'm already battling with hay fever, allergies, I feel like shit. But these Nova leaks, I've got to talk about them. What did I do? Got myself some sandwiches, ham sandwich to be exact, you know. God's butter, God's food, God's fuel. And what else I get? Coke. Not the snorting kind, the Coke Zero kind I'm cutting for summer. Let's get into these fucking leaks. We're gonna jump straight into this bitch, I'm not fucking about. All these came from Solidus Nova on Twitter. Follow that man, he is the GOAT, exposing this pedophile for who he truly is. So Nova starts with talking about the Leaping Lemur, who is a commentary YouTuber turned lolcow after his disgusting actions were revealed to the community. For context, Nova loves to bring this up, as it's the only time where someone who is really harsh and mean to Nova about his weight, about his actions, about his hygiene, where they also turned out to be an absolute freak as well, sharing similar behaviour as Nova. Poor Chiller is catching strays, who is just a normal person, which Nova just dislikes because they expose the weird motherfucker he is. The next few messages make it really clear that Nova and his pedophile friends, Star Kitty 333, are mass reporting YouTube videos, which is against TOS by the way. Get that motherfucker banned. Which just shows how fucking weird he is, that he knows these allegations are true, he knows these leaks are true, and he's so pissed about them, he's trying to get them banned when they're entirely legit. There's no way they could get reported and banned. Then you can see a link which Nova's friend, I assume, sent from a video by Major Chiller just exposing him, and I reckon Nova's fucking seething and coping just about all his personal information being shared, because he's an absolute creep. Right, on to the next screenshots. I will say these ones aren't as invigorating as previous ones, but it starts with sex support saying how that's not how copyright works, which Nova really needs to hear this, as this man will claim everything, as stated here. Where does it say? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. Well, he did copyright claim Chin Universe so many times, tried to get him taken down, and they all got removed because there's no copyright. When you make content like Nova does, people have the right to make compilations to change it to themselves, and it's technically their own content now. He's got no trademarks, nothing behind it, so he's just entirely coping. It's also hilarious, someone else in this group chat is asking Nova if someone else is a minor, because that's just his behaviour, they're used to it, and the fact that these people support and facilitate the environment for Nova to potentially be talking to children is just insane to me, honestly. Right, so on to this one. This one just really shows that people are actually ordering his Nova cord things, which is, by the way, if anyone who is watching this has ordered one, why? You're giving a known pedophile money for him to spend on more pedophilic activities like his diapers, his fucking sus toys, if you know what I mean. Oh, I hate that word, but yeah. Please do not buy it. And this moony poo person giving him advice, why? Even if it's a buddy troll, why are you giving him advice on how to make more money? Just keep him off the internet, keep him away from people, and just never get a normal job. But oh no, you can't, because everyone knows you're a pedophile. Even in your own town, you're infamous. It's insane. So this screenshot's just really talking about the Nova mum. Oh my god. So this screenshot's really talking about the situation with Nova's mum, and just it really shows just how much he abandons her and really doesn't care after her. Like, this DJ Palpy guy says, oh no, go be with your mum, go do this, which is also why being friends with Nova, and he responds, at this point I should go fuck myself. Like, no Nova, stop thinking about yourself, your mum. What, she was in hospital, she OD'd on something, and you're only thinking about it, how it affects you, how it affects how much DoorDash you can get. Look, he says, if she doesn't eat soon, I'm not gonna be happy. Like, no, but it's not about if you're happy or not. You need to be careful with your mother. And then he responds to someone saying, yeah, she looks fine right now. Well, you can take that two ways, She looks fine as if she looks healthy. or you can take it the Christian way, where, you know, if it is that, get his mother out of our house. I do hate to be speed running through these, but in a lot of them there isn't much content going on, and as I said before, it's very late and I just want to get this done, so I do apologise for the rapidness of it. Nova starting off with saying, God is really testing my patience. Nova, how can you even claim to be, like, religious? You're the most, like, sinful, filthy person on the planet. I'm not even religious to myself, but I'd say I would be a better, like, let's say Christian than him. Do you think Christians support all this weird pedophile diaper shit? Most definitely not. Nova also admits that his mum is very sick and that he's losing brain cells. Yeah, we all know that. But once again, it's his mum's situation. She's clearly doing really bad. And he's like, oh my god, it's all about me. It's all about me. And that, yeah, he's just so selfish. I really don't know how to end these because I'm saying the same thing every time, but this man is so self-centered, whereas his primary caretaker, his, like, only family, is in an awful situation. She's going in and out of hospital, can hardly move, and the only thing he cares about is his content, it's the trolls, it's like Cyrax, you know, it's just, the comparisons to Cyrax are astounding, except the fact that Cyrax is a skinny little motherfucker, and Nova is an obese motherfucker, so... Right, this is where the screenshots get really juicy, but I will say context is needed, so I will give you that. They're talking about Nova's attempt to dox Bloodspeth here. He was entirely wrong. Like, it's wrong morally in trying to dox, but also information wrong. Nova's saying that he denied that it wasn't Bloodspeth, and that Nova wasn't planning to in the heat of the moment. And then this person is clearly pissed at that, and it just shows the mentality of Nova, in my opinion. Like, I've studied history, I've studied, like, going in analytical into things, and I find this really helpful in this, because you do source questions, you have to think about the person, the author's mindset behind it, why they've done that, and to me this is so clear that Nova is just doing anything possible to get back at Bloodspeth, for Bloodspeth revealing the truth, and Nova describing that it was in the heat of the moment just shows how volatile this dangerous person is. Even if that information was correct, because he got a little bit pissed at being exposed being a pedophile, he would put this man's personal information on the internet, and especially in this community, that is so dangerous because, let's be honest, there's a lot of weird and dangerous people on both sides, on the lolcow and on the just like the observers, or both sides. So I think this is disgusting from Nova, and he has no right to try and dox anyone. Obviously, he's been doxed himself. Everyone knows where his house is, but whose fault is that? No one went out and tried to find his house like Nova's doing with Bloodspeth. Nova just showed his house to everyone, his hometown, his own email, his phone number. He's done it all to himself, and now thinks he has the right to do it to someone else, which just isn't okay. Now, these messages actually came from before the previous ones I just showed you, but it just shows, like, once again, the volatility of Nova's behaviour, where he's atting this Mooney person saying, we don't dox fake Speth here, we just gather information on how obsessed he is. But the next day, yeah, this is the 11th, the previous screenshots were from the 12th, the next day he proceeds to try and dox him, his house, his full name, like everything about, by the way, a random person. It wasn't even him, of course not. And yeah, like, what are you doing, Nova? I know you won't watch this, but I really hope you do, so you can just have a little think about your life, because, listen, I'm younger than you, yeah, I'll say it, I'm younger than you, I'm an adult, but I'm younger than you, and my life is significantly more sound and better than you. First of all, I can drive, I've got not a lot of money, I sound like a dickhead, like I'm flexing. I've got a stable amount of money, whereas if I need to do a big payment, I could afford it. I've got friends. I'm not an online known and in real life pedophile. And it's like, you're just trying to worsen other people's lives because yours is so bad already. And I think he's really showing that when trying to dox Bloodspeth, because Bloodspeth is doing amazing things for this community. he's been blowing up recently. Shout out to him. The interviews are hilarious. The leaks are hilarious, and he's letting all of his information, which would previously have been kept private, and he's showing the entire world even more about what this disgusting man is capable of. This one is once again about doxing Bloodspeth. Nova is obsessed. It's not even a joke. He is actually obsessed. But he starts with, "Oh yeah, by the way, we got his real name now," but that's not satisfying enough. If that doesn't show malicious content and nature, I don't know what does. He's already got this person's real name, which has been deliberately hidden. It's not his real name, what he thought was his real name, which Bloodspeth is obviously trying to hide, because why would you want that known? And Nova doesn't even think that's far enough. He clearly wants to completely expose him and possibly have real life consequences happen to him, because if you've seen Nova's hit list, Bloodspeth's name is in red. That's a little strange. Murderous content, who knows? The fact that FBI even had to investigate that is hilarious. If you've not seen that, check out Bloodspeth's interview with Nova's neighbour, and you can hear it all. It's really fascinating. I implore you to do it. But yeah, the next part of this is about, I'm guessing, maybe the Chin universe or Bloodspeth. I can't really tell. I think it might be Bloodspeth, but it's about getting their channel striked with copyright and all this. And it really just shows how Nova will use anything, and I mean absolutely anything, to get videos and evidence of him doing these disgusting things just taken off the internet. It's like that one Chris Chan clip, which is very famous now, where it's like, "Get everything about my house off the internet." That's like Nova with his pedophile actions. So right, so this screenshot, I believe, is in relation to the Gideon situation with Nova. Whether you don't know, the very famous YouTuber Gideon heard about Nova's antics and his actions and tried to get in contact with him through a live stream. And as you can see, Nova, in all caps, "He keeps calling me." And he's just saying that the more he does it, the more he hates himself. And this other person is just like babying him, and it's so weird. But Nova going, "Mass report the shit," proves my previous point correct, that anything which exposes him, he's dying for it to be off the internet. You can see this DJ Pappy guy, a recurring character from previous images as well, trying to help him out by trying to report it, and then joining the call because he'll be the victim, and if he laughs at you, that's proof of harassment. Yeah, this is so strange. Nova, how can you be the victim when you've made actual victims with the children you've talked to, like the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star video? That was a child, Nova, a genuine child. And then this person trying to add to the harassment files. Oh my god, the harassment files aren't real. If they're real, add me to it, because I hate you, Nova. Let me make that clear. I know you're not listening, and anyone who is listening, thank you so much for. I bet you are a really nice person and normal, and not like the weird shit I talk about. Talking about weird shit, these are where the messages get spicy, as YouTube would allow me to say. Where Nova says there that he signed up for their texts, the company he's talking about with there is a toy producer, and based off my tone, I'm sure you know what kind of toys I'm talking about. And when he says he got a text from the company, he did it to get a free toy, which, by the way, he never even got. So I will say this man is actively buying these things with the very little money he has, which, you know, he could spend on his mum. Their house is a mess. She's in hospital all the time. What's he using his money on? Pleasurable toys. So what do I even say about that, genuinely? Let's quickly move on to the second part of this, to where Nova's talking about his weight, where he says he's 208 pounds, I assume, at the moment, which, you know, which at Nova's peak, I assume he was pretty high, maybe like 400, you know, who's a fat little bastard. But is this the truth? You don't even know. Like, any video of the scales, he entirely hides it, you can't see what he's on, so I wouldn't take this as a factual detail. So on to the next screenshots. This person, who is unknown, says that they've never had pad thai before, Now call me uncultured, I did have to search up what it is. It's just a noodle dish. And Nova asks if $31 is too much. Obviously, Nova, what kind of food are you buying which isn't from a high-end restaurant, which is noodles for $31? Yeah, it's insane. And then we get back onto the toy talk. When they talk about the brands, I assume that is what it's on about. When he says, no, I didn't get it in time. That's also about the toys. Then the other person says, did you get it? No, he did not, thankfully. No one wants this man being happy, and after the South Park video on, The Hub, no one wants to see any more of that, because who in the right mind is posting that shit and buying this shit and talking to random people on the internet about it? So, what the fuck? Final screenshot of the night. It's currently 1 in the morning for me, so I can't wait to sleep. But yeah, so in this one they're talking about Nova's mum, and we can see that she's been kept in the night by the hospital, and that she's clearly in and out of it. And this person in red, we don't know, anonymous, yeah, says, I hope she's okay. Nova, being so kind about his mother and not selfish at all, just responds, fuck my life. Nova, we're not even talking about that. I don't want to talk to you. These people, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the bad situation your mum's in, and all you care about is getting pity and sympathy from these people. Maybe for money, maybe just so you think you're less depressed than you are, because you're not depressed, Nova. Stop being a mental health activist, because you make that community look really bad. Same with like the LGBTQ community. You saying you're what is it, like a fish fucker, whatever it is, I can't remember what it is. This makes the community look so bad, and any community you join looks awful. So I hate you a lot, Nova. But Nova also says, my mum can't get out of the couch, which I assume to be correct. There's footage of her in a wheelchair. She can't get up into the house without the firemen arriving. So every time she gets home from hospital and is into the house, Nova has to call the fire department to lift her in, because he's too weak to do it himself. So I wouldn't be surprised if she can't. And let's be clear, the state of this house will make it far harder for his mum to operate. Because imagine already struggling to walk, struggling to stand, then having to dodge the rubbish and trash everywhere, the animal feces, which we know is now in the house from the disgusting leaked photo. If you've not seen that, I've got a YouTube short on it, make sure to check it out. Viewer discretion is advised, as it is a horrible image. But that is the end of these leaks. Shout out to Solidus Nova on Twitter for acquiring these. There's meant to be so many more, which if there's any interesting ones I will look at and do another video. But as these ones were released tonight, I thought, I'm already awake, I've just made another video, I'm in the mood, let's get it done. But if anyone did watch this far, thank you so much. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you hate Nova as much as I do. I apologise for me being a little dead and quiet. I'm feeling very ill. I'm very tired and it's quite late at night. I don't want to wake anyone up. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.